What's going on out there, Junkie Nation? It's your boy Kenshiro, and we're back with another episode of Live from Junkie Nation. It's Thursday, March 31st, pre-April Fool's Day, and we got a really good discussion for everybody to partake in tonight. A lot of controversy out there, but first, before we get to it, we're going to introduce the crew. First of all, with these incredibly luscious lips on the screen is Mr. GQ. What the hell is that?
It's none of your business. It's something that has to do with tonight's topic.
Yeah, it does have some. Oh, okay. Moving right along. Adobo Girl's checking in.
Tonight's topic.
I know. I understand that. But yeah. We got Adobo Girl checking in today. How you doing? How you doing, Shorty?
Adobo Girl's checking in. Tonight's topic. I know. I understand.
Hello, Adobo Girl. You gonna say hello?
Hey.
Then we also got her better half. In this case, maybe not. The great Dadakuji. How you doing, sir?
I am doing fantabulous. Nice to see you. Good evening, everybody in Junkie Land.
All right. And we got Krusty herself, the Krusty one, checking in.
Howdy ho, y'all.
All right. And finally, we got the big Kahuna checking in. What's up, bruh?
What's going on?
Oh, that's a much better hairdo you got going on there, man. You had a little bedhead going on, but
yeah, man. I ate a Snickers.
Yeah, just in time. So, all right. As we did yesterday, we're gonna have the Krusty one herself kind of catch us up on what today's news is gonna be. So, Krusty, take it away.
What it do? Krusty here. Okay, so a few news today. Suicide Squad are going back to do some reshooting of scenes to make it more funny. That's what's in the news.
Uh-oh.
I personally think that they're doing it because of Deadpool, but everyone's against that. And in other news...
Well, hold on. Let's slow it down a second. You're saying that the suits at WB want to try and cash in on the Deadpool craze because Deadpool's made more money than any R-rated movie out there in the land, so they want to go in and make it a little more funny? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what I think. Absolutely.
Who else thinks that's a terrible idea? Raise your hands.
I most definitely think.
I think it's a bad idea.
Be your own thing.
Yeah, do your own thing.
I think that's not even the real reason. I think it's because of these abysmal, craptastic reviews of the abysmal and craptastic Batman versus Superman.
I could buy that.
Because here's the thing: if they were going to do this, why announce it now? Mm-hmm. They could have announced this back when Deadpool made $500 million, not right after the movie has some crappy reviews and still has a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
They could have said this a long time ago.
Yeah, they need to stick to their guns. Absolutely.
So
Kuna, what do you think? You think this is a terrible idea? You think it would be a good idea or not?
I don't know. I'm leaning towards terrible. The movie looked like it was already going to be good and had humor in it already. Going back and adding more humor, it might be too much, or it might offset the movie, and it'll be humor where you can tell that it wasn't part of the original script. So like forced humor. So I think it might be bad. They should just leave it alone.
Yeah, they definitely should leave it alone. All right, Krusty, what else you got?
Star Wars, Ewan McGregor. So he was talking about the possibility of a Obi-Wan Kenobi spinoff. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I'm definitely all for that. That's going to be awesome. That would be awesome.
Anything that's Star Wars in my opinion. If you got a Han Solo movie, you got a Boba Fett movie, supposedly, an Obi-Wan movie to find out what the hell this old man did before he set up shop on Tatooine. Then again, now that I think about it,
no, he set up shop on. You're talking about before he started training Luke, basically, right? That whole.
I don't know when the heck it will be set in time.
This is his quote.
About it.
I'd very much like to do one too. I think the story between episode 3 and episode 4, I think there's a story there. I think that's the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie if there is one.
Definitely.
Between episode 3. See, but that's what I'm trying to figure out, because you're telling me he dropped off Luke to Tatooine and then he left and went somewhere else?
No, he stayed on Tatooine.
He stayed on Tatooine.
But what the hell would he be doing?
In other words, you
Turn
might
up.
have him sitting there in a cave, herming up, eating Cheez-Its and watching reruns of the Clone Wars.
You
Okay,
should have
you're not
called
gonna really.
Three's Company.
Right, exactly. It's like we don't need to see Obi-Wan getting old in a cave.
Yeah, they got to.
No,
They got to do
remember
something.
that-
I can't even figure what.
Remember
I want to
that
see
thing
it, but they got to give me something.
It was like the genre of the music genre in Star Wars is called jizz. So maybe he was just jizzing it up.
Wow.
Isn't it?
Wow.
So really, so he was over there watching holocrons of naked Jedi Twi'leks
Exactly.
running around, and he was
Exactly.
in his box. Really,
He was
Exactly.
using the jizz box, jizzing it up.
Oh, stop it! Stop it!
Crystal
Stop it!
watches a little too much. Crystal watches
Hentai.
a little too much of the no, not even just hentai. The stuff that's in the back room of most video stores.
Oh, you with the beaded curtains and all that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Hold on. It takes a person of experience to know that there's beaded curtains back there, sir.
Hey, I'm a guy. I have no shame. I don't care.
gross.
I don't care. Yeah, I've been back there.
there.
I've been back
There goes the
there.
misogyny.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's straight up truth. Anyway, so any other news out there, Krusty?
No more today.
Oh, come on. You got to have some more than that. Really?
Yes, there is.
I'm a slacker. Nothing from me.
Ugh.
Oh, nothing
I need
for
you
me.
to step your game up. What you got, GQ?
Lucasfilm has just announced that they're going to drop the Droid platform. So, in other words, Android's phones are going to lose their biggest, basically, essentially, their creator. So that's going to suck for you guys because whatever freaking operating system you guys are on right now, Milky Way or Nougat or whatever the hell it's called, is going to be the last one.
Oh, wow, man. They're gonna. Oh, okay. I get you. Man. So, man, what are we gonna switch to? I wonder. What are we gonna switch to?
Do you mean
I
that they're
don't want-
losing the rights to use the word droid?
No, he's
'Cause
saying
droid-
he's saying that the operating system is gonna go away completely, and I think I remember hearing something about that. Lucasfilm is definitely gonna do that. So, yeah, that's gonna be tough.
iPhone life.
Wait,
you
hold
know,
on. Back
maybe
up,
we'll have to
because
go to.
That information sounds kind of fishy because the only thing that's called droid is a line of Motorola phones, and those Motorola phones got the right to use the word droid from Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
Droid is not.
Sounds like somebody done got, huh, GQ? Wouldn't you say?
No, if I made it up, how can I get got?
No,
I'm
he's
saying
talking
exactly.
about.
he got. He got. He fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Well done.
He fact checked it real quick because he was on his grind.
Well,
fact check.
uh-oh.
I just know what the hell's going on.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
I think I got a quick teaser for you guys. It's another thing in news that kind of came out today. Philip 2.0 put it in the Culture Junkies Instagram, and I was really excited about it. Have y'all heard about this? Look at this on the screen right here. It's really ready to come out. Daredevil the animated series, man. Straight up Art Deco style, just like Batman the animated series. Going to be all black and all red. You're going to see nothing but Daredevil's viewpoint of things. It's going to be awesome, man. I mean, who's excited for a Daredevil the animated series? Who wants to see that? I do.
I've never liked Daredevil, to be honest.
What about you, Krusty?
Gross.
Gross. Oh,
It's
I'm
gonna
not
be
really.
You're two for
I'm not
two.
really a fan of I'm not really a fan of the equal opportunity superhero thing. Like just
Equal opportunity?
You're a superhero or you're not.
Oh, what about you, Kahuna? Would you be excited for that?
Batman is stupid.
You better stop it. That blasphemous talk. What about you, Kahuna? Would you be excited for Daredevil the animated series?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, especially if it's made like Batman.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I mean,
But
it's Bruce
it's
Timm.
gonna be filmed. It's gonna be filmed using the same camera that they use for a Virtual Boy. So that's gonna suck.
He's got a point. Yeah, he got a point. Anyway, guys, that's totally made up. I totally made that up. That's just something that was on Instagram making the rounds. It looked pretty cool, so I put it out there. So there's that. So okay, moving right along. It's 10:10. Moving along pretty smoothly, but Krusty, I need you to get some more news because there's got to be more news than that. Even if you got to make up some news, make up your own headlines. Even if you got to make up your own headlines, I need you to get on your games. Yeah, breaking news.
Amazing.
Krusty is amazing. Yes, you are, darling. You are amazing.
All
Yes,
right.
you are.
CNN, check it out.
Right. So anyway, guys, I I was out of the house, so I didn't get to catch it. But who watched Legends of Tomorrow today?
Me.
You did. Take it away, sir. What happened?
Like when we last left Legends of Tomorrow, we saw that Kronos was attacking the Wave Runner.
Yeah.
And who was a Hawk Girl? What is his name? Hawk Girl, Sarah, and
Adam.
I can't remember.
They got left behind.
Yeah, they got left behind. So time passes, and it's actually for Adam and Hawk Girl, 2 years has passed. Sarah couldn't take it anymore, and she just left them. She left them behind to search, go on to find her own place or whatever like that, because they figured that they just got left and they weren't coming back for them. So Adam and Hawk Girl, they started building a life together. They had a house. They had it was like real like husband and wife, like playing house.
Really?
They both ended up getting careers and all that.
Wait a minute. So how long were they left behind?
In there for them it was 2 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. 2 years passed since they got left behind.
So Sarah also went back to that chick that she was messing with last week too, or last time too. The nurse in the hospital.
Sarah ends up going back to what is it? Nana Parbat? I forgot how you pronounce it.
She went to Nana Parbat?
Yeah, she goes back to that and becomes a disciple for Ra's al Ghul again.
What?
But he doesn't know that.
Wow.
And to him, she's like this excellent student all of a sudden. But he doesn't know that 50 years later, she's already had the training. And when she went there, she was able to control her lust
urges.
thing.
Yeah, her bloodlust. Okay.
Her bloodlust.
Okay.
Turns out that the longer that people are stuck in time, they lose their self. So she was kind of mind wiped a little bit. Hawk Girl and Adam started liking the life that he was in. Mm-hmm. He was enjoying being he became a professor at a college. And so the longer they're stuck in time like that, the longer they're stuck in time, the more they lose their self and they become part of that time or whatever like that. So fast forward, we go to Kronos. Mm-hmm. Kronos ends up when he attacked the Wave Runner. Kronos takes Snart, and just leaves them, and they're wondering like, why did he take Snart? Turns out that Kronos is Heatwave. So, when the last episode we left off, I kind of knew that Kronos was Heatwave. I just had a feeling about that. Turns out when Snart left him, he didn't kill him. Mm-hmm. He just left him to wherever they were at, and the Time Masters ended up finding him, and he was
turned him into Kronos, huh?
Turned him into Kronos, and they took him to a place called the Vanishing Point.
Yeah, that's where Hunter was from. Yeah.
Yeah. So, time is like completely different there. They trained him to become Kronos pretty much.
Wow. That's a nice little twist. So, he
was out to kill them. He was out to kill them, and everybody he captured Snart and was going to kill Snart. When the Wave Runner comes back into town, they pick Adam and
Sarah and Hawk Girl up.
Brain farts here.
Yeah.
They pick up Hawk Girl and what's her name?
And Sarah. Yeah.
And so, they go to Nana Parbat to go rescue Sarah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. And so all through that, and they end up knocking out Kronos.
Finding out who he is. Okay.
Yeah. They're gonna try to save him pretty much. They locked him up. They locked him up in a little cube, pretty much like what's his name? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the little cube.
Oh, the little cube container thing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
kind of like the way they have. Yeah.
So now when they're going back, they're the next episode. They're going to the future, 2145 or something like that. That's the only way that's the only place that Rip knows where Vandal is.
Okay. All right.
So that's what we're going to pick up from there.
That's quite the interesting twist. Now, what do you think? And everybody else chime in too. If you've been watching Legends of Tomorrow, is this show worthy of coming back for season 2, or has it just been kind of really up and down and not really having any direction? Has it really been worth our time to
I
really
haven't
develop?
watched.
Yeah, you haven't watched it. Okay.
No. That I didn't finish. You were talking, and I was talking. I didn't know you were done with your sentence. I heard a period, and I'm sorry. I should have counted to 5 before.
Okay.
But I've been watching it, and the way it looks like it's just going to be going on forever because they're never going to kill Vandal Savage. So it's like, they got to get to a point where they're satisfied, or they're going to have to roll in. They're going to have to do something with it to keep people's interest. You can't be traveling around time for seasons upon seasons trying to catch Vandal Savage, and they never do. That's kind of like what you call a Gadget trying to always see freaking Dr. Claw's face.
Right.
Never do because it's.
Yeah.
I don't know what they've been playing.
Well, the slow part I kind of enjoyed the show, but what it is that we're not getting enough Vandal Savage.
Mm-hmm.
They break off into these other stories where the main villain is supposed to be Vandal Savage. So one of the things of next week's episode is that I guess when they go back in time, from what it looks like, Rip's son is alive.
What?
And he's actually part of Vandal's little army now.
Wow. So they've already kind of jumped their timelines, all kind of screwed up already. That makes you wonder how are they going to get back to the original time.
The last time when they killed Vandal, they said something that Vandal was lost to time, so they had no idea where he was at. But
okay,
that one time Rip knows of that. I guess it's a dangerous time to appear in or whatever like that. So that was like his last resort. So this episode was supposed to be the last resort of him going after Vandal Savage. But yeah, it has its ups and downs. I still watch it just to just kind of to enjoy it, and it suffers from that CW thing too. Like this episode was a lot of Adam and Hawk Girl with their little feelings, and Adam wanted to stay in that time they were left in because he liked it. They were all he was going to propose to Hawk Girl.
Interesting.
So,
now,
I think that sucks that they took that away from Jefferson. That was kind of pathetic.
Yeah. I mean, it was like because he was feeling her for a quick minute, and then Ray just stepped in there and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take your girl, man."
Take that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your girl, man.
No, I just think it's dumb that it's the standard same ridiculous story that they always tell. It's like, okay, she liked this one white dude because she was supposed to like him. Now all of a sudden she likes this other one because he's the quirky, quiet guy that nobody else really likes or would pay attention to. It's like
Weird.
It's the same cliche. That's part of the reason I hate anime most of the time because it's the same really ridiculous. The guy actually likes the girl, but she never pays him any mind and goes with the idiot.
The complete friend zone type thing.
I'm waiting for Hawkman to pop back up because if you follow any one of them in their Instagram things, they're doing behind the scenes where they're acting goofy, playing around and whatever like that. Hawkman is still there. He's still on set all the time. So I'm just waiting for him to pop back
man,
up.
he ain't been in the episode. He ain't been on for like 10 weeks, man. It seems like he been gone for a minute. So you wondering when he gonna come back.
He's still there. Like I said, all those behind the scenes things they do on Instagram, he's still there clowning around with them. So he's gonna be coming back sometime.
Weird. Whatever. All right. Well, thanks for that recap there, sir. Couple of news items that kind of dropped in the chat there. The chat woman kind of said that the New Mutants movie has cast Maisie Williams as Wolfsbane. Well, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool signing. I like that one. Having Arya Stark play an Irish young lass turns into a werewolf for her mutation. It's pretty cool. I like that. I think that's a pretty good signing. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the main topic of the day. Unless if there's anything for anybody else. Anybody else got anything? Any comment on Legends of Tomorrow before we move on?
Nah, fam.
Not Legends of
Legends of
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
but you know that Star Wars Rebels season finale
Oh,
happened.
that I saw that last night. That was fantastic. If you guys haven't been
Yes, it
watching,
was.
yeah, if you guys haven't been watching Star Wars Rebels, you really are missing out on something. Um, if in case you didn't know, one of the most popular characters from Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Ahsoka Tano, is still alive. She avoided Order 66 because she left the Jedi Order. So she avoided getting executed. She's been helping out the Rebels crew with Kanan and Ezra and Hera uh, as uh, as the kind of like former Jedi Fulcrum agent named Fulcrum. Um, and she's she this season when she's taken on a bit of a bigger role, and she discovered while Vader was attacking the rebel fleet that they had, that she found out that her former master was still alive. And ever since then, we found out that that she finally knew. This season is it's been on a collision course between for her and Vader to finally meet up, and it finally happened yesterday, and it did not disappoint. Besides that, we saw the return of Darth Maul yesterday.
Hey,
Who
just Maul.
just Maul. He tried to play it as it was just Maul, but he was still, he still tried to play that role. Did you notice that, Akuji? At the beginning, he tried to play like he was the same way Yoda played Luke in the in Empire
Exactly.
Strikes Back.
I'm like,
Even had some of
why
the same lines and everything.
yeah, why is he trying to be like Yoda, looking like he's
Yeah.
all old and decrepit and
Uh huh.
whatnot?
He's like, "Wait, put your weapon. I mean you no harm." He did the whole spiel and everything. Maybe I can help you find. Like maybe I
Yeah,
can help you. All this kind of stuff. I could show you the way in and all this other kind of stuff. It was it was pretty neat. But you knew, man. But beyond that, there was a lot of killing that happened in that episode too.
oh yeah,
Man,
bye bye Inquisitors.
the Inquisitors bought it, man. I mean, it seems like this happened last season finale too. The Grand
Yep.
Inquisitor fought Kanan and died, and now you had three Inquisitors in this episode, and all of them died too.
Yep.
But it was a pretty good it was a really good episode, really exciting episode. I'd urge all of you out there in Junkie Nation, if you haven't checked out Star Wars Rebels, you kind of really need to. I like it.
Really.
I like it better than Clone Wars, but that's to me the reason I like it better
That's
than Clone Wars.
debatable
No,
because
no.
like
Let me explain the reason why I like it better
okay,
than Clone Wars. I like it better than Clone Wars because a lot of times Clone Wars could be guilty of being kind of disjointed because you had so many characters that you had to kind of cover, and they would you could kind of jump in and jump out and still follow along. With Rebels, if you miss an episode, you feel like sometimes you miss something.
yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
yeah,
I can see
so
that.
that's the reason why I like Rebels. But man, I think it's a well put together show. I'm very interested to see what happens after that surprise ending with Ezra and the Sith holocron. I'm interested to see where that goes. You wonder what happened after the end of the Vader Ahsoka fight because she gave him some. She
Yep,
gave him
she
some,
most
she
definitely
gave him
did.
some licks.
He was hobbling out of there, and
He
Yeah,
was fucked up.
yes he
yeah,
was.
Wait. He didn't cut her head off?
Nope,
no,
nope.
she's
That's not
you
Vader that
gotta
I
remember,
remember.
Ahsoka ain't no joke.
Ahsoka is skilled, man.
She's
She's
pretty
good.
skilled, and she's a dual wielder, and
Mhm.
she kind of caught him off guard
Mhm.
because he had thought he had disposed of her already,
Mhm.
and so like Darth, he got his mask freaking
Now,
cut off.
I will say this. I think he underestimated her a lot.
Yeah,
I'll say that he wasn't going completely full out against her. He was just trying to beat her basically with brute strength, like Vader usually always does, and it wasn't necessarily working. So she gave him a really good lick while he was distracted, trying to get the holocron from Ezra and Kanan. Kanan, by the way,
She
yeah,
worked those double damn
yes, she
sabers,
did.
man.
Yes,
yep.
she did. But Kanan suffered a pretty drastic injury,
Oh yeah,
and moving forward, that ain't something you come
Big
back from.
time.
That ain't something you come back from.
might
That's
be
permanent.
the blind swordsman from
Yeah,
now.
yeah, that's permanent. So I can't wait for season 3 to come back. So
There's only one thing I wish they would have did.
what's that?
Instead of when she first jumped and got the surprise on Vader, and he looked up and you could hear his normal voice,
Yeah,
should have said Snips, and that would have been like, what the fuck?
that would have been
But
too much like still Anakin, I think. But I did
yeah,
like
I
the
know
way they
he
mixed.
supposedly killed that part of
Yeah.
him, but
But I like that they mixed in at that scene. They mixed Anakin's voice and James Earl Jones's voice. I thought that was pretty cool. Thought that was pretty neat. Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Megashawn has joined the show. How you doing, buddy? Feeling any better?
I'm doing. Oh no, not feeling too much better, but I'm pretty fair for a square.
Okay. All right. Cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the main topic of the day. The main topic of the day today is you guys might remember out there that the controversy over Tracer, the character in Overwatch, and how one of her poses had an over-shoulder, butt shot, and a lot of the feminists out there were, kind of really upset about it. But you know what, Krusty, why don't you kind of fill Junkie Nation in on what this topic's kind of all about? You can probably eloquate it a little bit better than I can.
Okay, so Blizzard has this game called Overwatch, and they have a signature pose or like a taunt, how people, just like a pose, which you can choose and deactivate if you want. But there was a pose for Tracer. It showed her turned around with her butt and back facing, and her turning her face. So I'm pretty sure you guys heard and saw the pictures by now. Somebody on the Overwatch forum wrote a lengthy letter saying about how it doesn't fit her personality, hasn't fit her character, and Blizzard has apologized and taken it down. And
Ridiculous.
that caused some controversy.
Ridiculous.
There's lots of petitions out. It's pretty ridiculous.
Hold on, I've seen this picture. Don't you mean her back and her back?
Pretty much, man, because it's not like she has. Yeah, it's not like she has anything, really working. I mean, the DOA girls have more butt than she got. I mean, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like, but it is what it is. It's not like Bungie went out of their way to purposely. I'm sorry, not Bungie. Was it Bungie? Is it Bungie that does Overwatch, or is it Blizzard?
Blizzard.
Okay. Blizzard didn't go out of their way to make her like, overly busty or really shapely or anything like that. She's just a girl character, I mean, and she happened to have a over-the-shoulder butt shot. I mean, it's just one of those ridiculous things. Like, you have the PC police just getting up in arms about it. So, let's go ahead and discuss this thing. Is this really much ado about nothing? And isn't this like completely hypocritical? Adobo Girl, why don't you go first? What do you think about this whole thing?
Well, I've seen worse. I mean, there's a game called Dead or Alive where there's a lot of side boob and a lot of jiggling going on. And when I see this picture, I don't know. Do you have a picture of it?
I'll get it out. I'll pull it up on the screen. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, it just looks like she has a wedgie. You know what I mean?
I won't even give her that. I won't even give her that.
It's like, okay, I see that. I see wedgies all the time at Walmart. I mean, come on. I'm not gonna write a long letter, to the supervising staff if I see someone's tights pulled in their butt crack. I mean, that's basically it. I don't see anything wrong with it. There's in the grand scheme of things, there's other things out there that are way more questionable. Like, is this PG, PG-13, X? I don't know. Like, I think they have in some games you can even put overlays where it looks like your character's naked. This picture, she's just looking over her shoulder. I don't see anything wrong with it. But the question I do have to ask is, do games give? All right,
the picture's up on the screen. Everybody can see, as you can see. Go ahead.
Okay. Does this give our young generation an expectation? Like, I don't know. I don't ever see bigger women or thicker women on once in a while I see them in games, but not so often. But I honestly don't know why a person would write so much on this picture. There's other pictures out there that are
exactly.
This to the same compared to what's out there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like you hit the point all right on the head. Why is it this picture that gets them riled up when, I mean, sure, they've made a bunch of noise about DOA, as GQ, it knows. I mean, he just got the newest DOA Extreme Beach Volleyball. That wasn't even going to be brought out over here because people raised up a fuss. Isn't that right, GQ? Isn't that what happened with Dead or Alive this time?
Yeah, they said they were going to bring the game out because people were worried about. No, I'm sorry, actually, not even people. The company was worried about how people were going to react to it and whether it would be well received in the West because it's over sexualizing women.
Oh,
it's like
Jesus, man.
Really? So you didn't have any problem with it the last 2 times you released the same game.
Exactly.
And you've had 5 Dead or Alive games with
Yes, sir.
3 extra releases of the 5th one. So
exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I think they should get to the point where like a lot of these companies. Honestly, this is how I think the justice system should work. If you want to be up in arms and sue somebody over something that offends you, whatever your lawsuit amount that you're seeking, if you lose, you have to pay the company that amount. Then that'll kind of cut down on some of these frivolous, pointless lawsuits.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Krusty, weigh in on the hypocrisy of some of these feminazis out there in Tumblr land. Here's your chance to really start to troll them and kind of let them know how stupid they really are.
Nah, I'm not gonna really.
Come on, yes you can. Your troll level's over 9,000. You can do it. Go ahead and do it.
This is a problem that actually means a lot to me because, feminism and Tumblr feminism are 2 different things.
Okay.
And I think, people mix that up and be like, oh, feminism is dumb. Feminism is all about equality. So you getting upset about this woman in a tight suit, it makes no sense to me. And like
Exactly.
I said earlier, and if you read the forum, read the letter in the forum, this guy is saying this woman is, she's supposed to be silly and kind and a good friend. She's supposed to, be positive. But you saying that a person like that cannot possibly ever be sexy or have a sexy pose. So you give somebody this, this image, and it's kind of messed up me because there's a sexier character that's also in the same game, but that's fine if it's her because she's supposed to be sexy.
Right.
But
right.
It's not fine for her because she's nice and kind. It's cray cray. That's all I can say.
Okay. On that note, somebody else jump in because she's saying cray cray. Kahuna, look, we've had over sexualization, as a term for a long time. And yeah, I'm gonna show an image right now on the comic book screen, which is pretty much over the shoulder, pretty much just like the way Tracer is. If you guys can see it on the screen right now, it's a drawing that Ed Bennis, who's actually one of my favorite comic book artists out there right now. He does work for DC. But it's an old cover that he did for Birds of Prey, and you got Huntress, and you got Black Canary, and Lady Blackhawk, and Oracle in the background. But you can see Huntress has got the over the shoulder shot. And her butt is pretty prominent in there. She's got more butt than Tracer does, but this kind of flies under the radar or isn't really made a big deal out of. But at the same time, we also have men that are over sexualized. Look at the Final Fantasy male characters, the really beautiful guy characters, with the shorts open, or like look at the thing about a couple years back when Thor: The Dark World came out. Remember, there was like a big to-do because the screenwriters made sure it wasn't part of the original script, but they made sure to write in a part where they got to show Hemsworth with his shirt off. And they made sure that it was in there. It was like a gratuitous thing, to make it over sexualized. I don't really remember, men getting up in the arms because that was out there. We didn't really raise much of a fuss, but women, do it because we're objectifying them. But at the same time, Chris Hemsworth gets objectified. You've got a lot of other muscle-bound guys that get objectified, but that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. But when it's women, it's not okay. It's just like a real big double standard. What do you say to that, Kahuna?
Yeah, the only thing I really got to say about it is it's back to fake outrage. That's just the big thing. People pick and choose what they want to get up in arms about. During our prep time, Dada Kuji brought up, if everybody remembers, when the Target shopper came across the Slave Leia Black Series figure. Mm-hmm. Made a whole big news thing about how it was just, it was so disrespectful and we shouldn't be subjecting our kids to that.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
It was the Slave Leia action figure, and they were all calling for that needs to be banned, and it actually happened. They stopped making them. So now it's like the only way you can get Slave Leia figures is like Amazon and eBay. But my thing though is in the very next aisle you have an all Barbie aisle, bikini Barbie. Barbie to be, you can change their clothes and this and that. It's fake outrage. I think they pick and choose what they want to get so pissed off and upset about, and it's ridiculous.
Completely fake outrage, because you're absolutely right. It's like some women, some girls, they want to be perceived as beautiful, and it's not saying that they necessarily need to go to those extremes to be considered beautiful or anything like that. But they want to feel sexy. They want to feel very attractive. They want to feel desired. And a lot of times they do that. They wear some of the form-fitting clothes because that's the standard of, I guess, how a lot of people define beauty. Megashawn, I need your comment on the way people perceive what's sexy, what's not sexy, and how it permeates our popular culture. You're a pretty fit guy. So have you ever been subjected to anything of this nature from other women or anything like that? And does it bother you? Has it ever bothered you? As a guy, I wouldn't expect to, but please go ahead and answer.
As a man, no, it doesn't bother me. But what grinds my gears is this feeling of judgment that nobody's placing upon them but themselves. So for example, like how me and GQ have always preferred people with better aesthetics to be in these movies. Or if you look at why is everyone like even in most of these DC DC shows, like the majority of the heroes are relatively slim. So why is like what is it about the world that they're afraid of? I don't know if it's a judgment thing or if they're afraid of being bigger, or if they it's like it really doesn't make any sense, and there's really no ground to stand on it. But it's just like with that young lady who we had talked about earlier, who had the 3 children, and she had challenged people. I think she put the tag at the top. What's your excuse? And then she was labeled a bully.
Was that bodybuilder lady that you were talking about, the one that just popped out a whole bunch of kids, and she had a super fit body afterwards or something like that?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily say she's super fit, but she was in shape.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a feeling of judgment that nobody's placing upon you, but it all goes into a insecurity. You don't feel that you are where you need to be. So you feel that, X, Y, and Z is looking down on you, when in actuality, X, Y, and Z would probably be the first person to help you, or not even thinking twice about you or whatever it is you do. They're busy worrying about their lives. So how anybody could take that as an indictment on themselves, but all that could easily be rectified by jumping into the gym and exercising, and nobody's judging anybody on how they need to look. It's just a matter of being the best you. And if you're not comfortable with you, you're gonna complain about Leia in a golden brassiere with a chain around her neck, or this woman from Blizzard with the body of a 10-year-old boy. It just doesn't make any sense. You continuously let the inmates run the asylum.
Speaking of inmates running the asylum, little Sosa over there is giving a lot of people a lot of thrills, man. He's so cute. He's so cute.
He totally just jacked the mic from me.
Yes, totally jacked the mic. Adobo Girl, you said something pretty poignant in the chat, and I wanna get your comment on it. You had said that it's like let me go scroll back up and see it. It's like feminism gets on other women for enjoying what they want to enjoy. Extrapolate and expound on that if you don't mind.
Okay. In the beginning of from what I understand, okay, I could be wrong, but from what I understand, in the beginning it was all about equality and everything, and then fast forward to today, we got people who are enjoying their sexuality, their beauty, whole 9 yards, and then you got another group of women who call themselves feminists that get on that group of women saying, well, you should be ashamed, you should be this, this, and this. And it's kind of like, well, aren't you in the same camp of the guys who tell us how we should feel and how we should do and how we should act? So, I mean, not all feminists are the same now. There's people go about it differently. The idea of empowerment is different. Some people feel, well, if I can work in a technical field along with the guys, if I can break that glass ceiling, I'm being empowered. And some people feel, well, if I can be sexual and not be called a slut and enjoy being as attractive and pretty and low cutty, whatever, then that's empowering because I could just be who I want. And it just goes here to say, I think what matters most is not so much writing letters for change, but vote with your dollars. If you don't like Tracer's butt crack in your face, then don't buy the game. I mean, just don't buy the game. That's more effective than anything else. I mean,
preach.
Yeah.
Preach.
Yeah. I'm just
completely
saying.
Preach.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly the way it should be. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to add one more voice to the panel. Mr. Waffles, I see you over there. You joined the show. We welcome you. And what's your 2 cents on this whole thing?
I personally, I think if you're censoring the artists of video games, it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's like censoring a movie, It's like they did that with a couple of Nintendo games. I think Xenoblade, this little Japanese girl, like she was like, I don't know, she was 16 or something like that, and they put like a shirt on her or something like that so you could see her figure or something like that. It wasn't nothing crazy like Dead or Alive, and they did it with Fire Emblem. That's not out yet, but they did the same thing. It's like, well, Nintendo already labeled it as this console for kids, but they come out with titles for teens and adults, and it's just, you still censor the game like we're stuck in the 90s and 80s. Like, that's not the case. And I don't think anybody was even complaining about those games, but it's just, I don't know. I think people are uncomfortable with human anatomy, I guess, now. So, I don't. It's weird.
I get you. No, I completely get you. Dadakuji, I need to come to you, and I'm going to ask you something. Would it matter to you if they started making games where everybody was, I don't want to say less attractive, but more on the normal side, where you didn't have completely buffed out muscle head heroes, or you didn't have like sexy damsels in distresses, or sexy heroes, female heroes for people to look after? I mean, is this just, in your opinion, just completely faux outrage from people that just want to bitch, but just a bitch, but just a bitch? I mean, do they really have a leg to stand on here?
Well, in my honest opinion, a lot of them are idiots. Because, like, I play video games because they're fun. I could give 2 shits about what the character actually looked like. I mean, I started playing with Super Mario Brothers. It's still one of my favorite. It's pixels. Mario's a fat plumber, and he can jump and throw fireballs, and nobody gives a care that he has a gut. People play with him. And if there's a game out there, I've never played it, but it strikes into my head, called Fat Princess.
I was just about to bring it up.
You're supposed to go around and feed this princess or something of the sort. I mean, I understand why people put over-sexualized either males and or females into any form of media, because they want to sell. In America, sex sells because we hold it in we hold it as taboo, period. So sex is something that everybody does, regardless of what. Everybody has the same parts. They might look different. We're not going into that aspect. But in America, it's a big issue. Adults can't think for themselves. You got to have other people think for you. And you have these parents out there who also do not know how to raise their children.
They want babysitters.
Exactly. They want the TV, the video games, and whatnot to raise their children, and they don't know how to teach their kids and say, look, this is this and this is this, and have an understanding to give the kids some things to think about. I mean, we are all lucky, I guess, that we grew up with graphics that did not look like that. So it didn't really matter. But as graphics got better, we were like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I don't care that Lara Croft walks around, with gigantic, polygon boobs. Is the game fun? Yeah. If she was flat-chested, would the game be less fun? I don't think so. I think it'd be exactly the same. But there are some people who enjoy Lara Croft like that enough to create nude skins, like Adobo Girl was saying.
Right.
I've also seen that Street Fighter 4, people created nude skins for all the females. I don't know why, because
they're perverts. That's why. They're perverts. That's why.
Yes. But, for me, when it comes to just anything being equal, I have a hard time because, out there, it's not equal.
No.
Just a small little thing about, in movies for aspect. It was many years ago, Spider-Man 1 was out on DVD, and a coworker of mine was going to borrow it from another coworker, and she asked if there was any nudity in Spider-Man, and he goes, no, and I'm like, yes, there is. And he was like, no, there's not. And I'm like, no, there is nudity in the movie. He was like, where? And I'm like, you see Peter Parker's bare chest. That's nudity.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, fair is fair. I don't give a care if you're a male or female. You got a bare chest. That's called nudity.
Right.
And a lot of people don't look at that aspect. You see a flat-assed Tracer, and there are people who are throwing their shit. But a guy could walk around with the topless and all this other stuff. Even fat slobs could walk around topless. Nobody cares.
That's right.
But as soon as a woman does it, a woman does anything that is perceived
sexual.
Anyway, yeah, and everybody loses their friggin' minds. And to me, that's crazy.
Yes, sir. You can interject, and I'm going to GQ.
Well, to the great Gucci's point in regards to us having a lot of pixels, then what we didn't have in video games, we had in film. If you think back to the 80s and 90s with Arnold running around with that chest out, a lot of those films had women who were bare-chested. If you go back and watch any movie that came out in the 80s and 90s, somebody was naked. I mean, I just watched Demolition Man.
Yep.
I watched Demolition Man earlier today, and a lady talking about, oh, I'm sorry, wrong call. So, and that was something that we got. This boy. Okay.
GQ, would you buy a game that was that didn't contain like say for Street Fighter 5, for instance, your favorite character, one of your favorite characters, new characters, is Laura, for various obvious reasons. She's one of my favorites as well. But and I see you got who you got there. You got Ivy, and who else is over there? I can't really see on the rest of the screen. But you got a couple of figures there, and they're some of your favorite women in video games. Would you buy a game that did not have shapely, sexy women in it? And if not, why?
Well, as I sit here between the mountains,
Christy.
I have bought quite a few games that don't have shapely, attractive women in them. The first one being Battlefield, Call of Duty. I was almost going to say God of War, but we can't really say that.
No, you cannot. No, you can't.
I mean, honestly, again, to me, it comes back to I like attractive women. That's never going to change.
Nope.
That's not going to change. It has
Ever.
nothing to do with them being in video games. It has nothing to do with whether they're in movies or whatnot. I like what's appealing to me.
Exactly.
I never downloaded Fat Princess because I wasn't interested in that game. It has nothing to do with the damsel in distress being fat or whatever. It's just I don't play games with the word princess in them. So, I mean, realistically, let's just be honest. The world, as we all know, revolves around sex and sexuality in one form or another. There's always going to be a niche out there for people that don't like women that are like this. There's always going to be a niche for people that like women that look like this, and guys, and this whole same thing. So the whole argument, and it's not fair that this, or there's too much sexuality or there's too much boobs out there. It's like, guess what? Women have boobs. They have. There's women that look exactly like this, no surgery, no nothing, just hard work. There's guys out here that look, not like this, obviously, but they look like, He-Man look and all that. No surgery, no steroids, hard work. So just because you're not one of those people, that can do that, what gives you the right to criticize the people that can? Oh, if she looks like this, those must be implants. Those got to be fake. Why? Because you don't look like them? So to me, the whole argument of this over-sexualization, well, so what? Get over it. If you can't handle it, don't let your kids play that. If you don't, if you can't be parent enough to teach your kids to not play this stuff, maybe you don't need to have kids. Maybe you need to go get those tubes tied and stop thinking about children because you're not ready for it. So I mean, simple as that. It's not really that big a deal or a difficult situation to just tell your kids, hey, you know what? I don't like how that looks. If you're, you know what? Let your kid make their own mind up. I bet the kid is sitting there like, Mom, you're a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
It's not even that bad. Like,
really
leave
not.
it alone.
Really not.
So people are too sensitive nowadays. I mean, honestly, it's like I looked at that picture. I'm like, this is what you guys are up in arms about. Like, she wouldn't get past the first 10 minutes of Street Fighter if she saw Laura. She'd be done.
Exactly.
Like her, like that system. She'd be like, the system is the devil.
Head explode.
Exactly.
Right.
So people need to kind of tone it down because it's not that serious.
Right. It's really not.
Isn't that the whole Cammy pose too?
The what?
I agree, 100%.
No, I'm saying, speaking of Street Fighter, wasn't that how Cammy posed?
Yep.
And actually,
And she's been posing that way for years. She's been posing that way for years.
Street Fighter started with Chun-Li.
No. He's saying that pose, the back shot.
No. I understand that.
Oh yeah.
I've been playing Street Fighter since all of you guys played Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm saying Chun-Li was the originator. Chun-Li was a quote-unquote the first lady of fighting. She was the first somewhat sexy-looking character, even though she had, the full Chinese dress on. Right, and then when Cammy came out, it became extremely noticeable that she was the one with the first back pose ever of any video game character. And my, as we all know, is Mai, and she just kept going on and on and on as time progressed.
Yep.
But it's like you picked the one, like Sean said, that looks like a 10-year-old boy.
And here it is for everybody to see. Just once again, it's up on the screen. Yep, you gonna have outrage over this?
Yeah, I mean, like that, to me, it's like, okay, well, it doesn't fit her character. Yeah, it does. Because I've seen a lot of women that whether they have the body or not, they have fun. They're out there. It's all it is just a little, hey, it's a little look over your shoulder and look back at the camera pose. How is that even remotely sexy?
At all.
It's kind of plain and lame. Now, if she was doing the other thing where I've seen a picture that I don't know if it was from the same game where she was like reaching up and grabbing the other girl's butt.
Yes, it is from the same game.
That would be, if they did that with this character, with her, then fine. Yes, you're over-sexualizing. But guess what? They didn't. So get over it.
Well, there was one casualty, and I guess I'll bring that up. Is remember Street Fighter V earlier before it got released, when it was in beta stage, they removed Rainbow Mika's butt slap from her super animation, because there was the outrage over as like, oh, this is over sexualized. It was unnecessary and all this other kind of stuff. It really is. It's just a butt slap, and she still does it. She just doesn't do it as part of her super. It's like I think it's worked in. It's not in the. Is it the taunt? It's part of her taunt now. I think. She does the butt slap, but it's just not. You can't call it. It's not called attention to. Like when the super gets like.
Honestly, I think her taunt now is like she pulls out a microphone out of hammer space apparently.
Yeah.
And starts taunting you. But to me, the butt slap thing
was her super move.
No, yeah, that was her super move originally.
But it still is a super move.
Yeah, it's still exactly the same. You just can't
angle.
see. Yeah, you can't see the butt slap. But to me, it's like I'm just sitting there like I hate our Mika anyway. She is the devil when you're trying to get through survival mode on hard. It's like to me, like when I first heard that censorship, I'm like, really? Like over this? If I was Capcom, I'd have been like, you know what? Skip y'all. I'm gonna put it in slow
exactly.
motion now.
I mean, and that's coming from Japan, the land of pervs themselves, and they're gonna cave to this? Come on, man, really? I mean, it's just so dumb. Let's talk.
Say something?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Sorry, while the baby's quiet for a second, but I think it's once we've started allowing these ridiculous complaints to have any value, that's when it all started going downhill. Because 20 years ago, when it was Orchid flashing people, nobody cared.
Oh yeah,
but
man.
But as soon as you allow, I mean, like what was the name of that game? Time Killers. Like you were disemboweling people.
Disemboweling
the entire game, which is taking arms and legs and decapitating men the entire game. But then once you get that one complaint, there she is, the young lady of Mr. Terrific. Not obviously on
Power
the TV
Girl.
show, but anyway, But yeah, like, and it just really doesn't make any sense. Or like, for example, had they given in to the lady in regards to the Deadpool situation, it's just like it has to stop because they're going to ruin it for everybody.
Indeed. Very well. We're very well put. Any other final comments on the hypocrisy of over sexualization? Krusty, anything to add?
For this specific Blizzard Overwatch Tracer thing, I just think it's silly how people are upset over the over sexualization of Tracer, even though there's nothing
really
there.
Sexy about her.
Even though it's not nothing is there, it's that there's nothing in that pose. It's just, you're complaining about this game about your child, but you're not complaining about the violence and the guns
in the game
that are in the game.
Right.
Like, it's weird you would pick and choose. I don't know. It's just a weird.
No, you're on the
weird, whole situation.
Fake outrage, just like Kahuna said, fake outrage.
I see it as people need to stop complaining about stuff because in reality they don't matter. Like, not even remotely close to what they think they do. So they should just play the game or don't play the game. Like Adobo Girl said, vote with your dollars. If you're really that offended, okay, turn the game off. Take the game off your system. Don't buy the next one.
People complaining don't even play the game.
Exactly. And not only that, listen, Capcom is extremely hypocritical because the girl I'm holding in my hands right here is from Final Fight. Now, transvestite, sci-female, whatever the hell you want to call it aside, she looks like a female to me, and I mean, maybe in Thailand this would be a trap. However,
it's a trap. It's a trap.
You're looking at this character. You see what she's wearing, right? You see what she's wearing, and she's been wearing this since the beginning. So, like, period. Like, ever since they brought her in, that's what she's been wearing. She was in Street Fighter 4 wearing the same thing. So it's like, you mean to tell me you have that in there with a riding crop, basically a bondage character, and you're trying to say that, oh, well, Armika's butt slap is a little bit too much. I would have been like, F you to all you people and all you haters. Are you kidding me? You know what we've done before, and we're going to do even more next time.
Yep.
Come on, Capcom.
That's the way it kind of needs to be. I mean, this whole outrage over sexualizing these characters when it's the people complaining are the ones that aren't even going to be playing the games in the first place. I mean, female gamers typically don't have a problem with a lot. I mean, they idealize. I mean, look at cosplayers. Cosplayers idealize a lot of these characters. They model.
Hold on.
What?
You got two females on here. You can't speak for them.
No. Okay, you're all right. Krusty, you play these games. Are you offended by a lot of these over sexualized characters?
I like sexy women. I like sexy men.
Hey. Adobo Girl, how about you?
I don't eat much munch. I don't want anybody to think that.
You what? You what? What'd you say?
I don't eat much munch. Don't mess with me.
I see. Yes.
She's trying to avoid getting a little bit of
that inboxing.
Yes.
The inboxings. Yeah. Adobo Girl, what about you? Are you offended by over sexualized characters, or does it not really bother you at all?
As an adult, it doesn't bother me. Maybe if I was younger and really self-conscious, I'd be like, oh, I have boobs that jiggle like this, or something like that. But for me, I mean, it's something to look at. Why not? It's not bad to buy.
Okay, real quick, you two. Then you brought up something, and I'm gonna touch on it. Is a lot of this outrage from a bunch of haters that are kind of jealous that they can't measure up to some of these figures?
It could be that, or it could be them trying to get free publicity. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of angles you could look at it for, with this letter and everything. Okay. Haters gonna hate. I guess that's what Autumn said in the chat there. It could be over controlling parents. It could be rivals of the game. It could be the game people themselves that want free publicity. I don't know. But honestly, I don't see anything controversial with this particular picture. I just don't. I compared to the stuff that GQ has been displaying in the show, there's no bare skin at all. I mean, to me, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I think what would bother me, where I draw my personal line at, is if I was playing a game and it was really apparent that the only thing the female character could do was just be cute and nothing else useful. You know what I mean? Then that would bother me.
Okay. So you're saying there's a lot more things to be offended about than their body shape.
Exactly.
Okay. Hey,
For me.
that works for me.
In 1983, this made a lot of teenage and younger boys understand what women are supposed to kind of
Look like.
do to your under nether regions when you see them,
making them a little tighter. Indeed, making them a little tighter.
So if this is an issue and this is a problem, I understand that yes, the world is a little bit different now, and it's all if you like guys and it's okay. Back in the day, it wasn't like that, but whatever. I digress. This is here for a reason. You have to have stuff like this and examples like this because guess what? Sometimes little guys get confused. Sometimes get confused. They need images of what's sexy so they understand, hey, why when I see this, it does this to my brain in my nether regions. So there's nothing wrong with it. You have to have sexuality because it's part of life.
It is part of life.
That's how it works. That's my Jerry Springer moment right there.
Yeah.
Yes,
you want to finish it up?
Have a good one and take care of each
other. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, guys. We put that a nice bow on that one. So we're gonna go ahead and check out. It's just after 11. We're gonna let you guys go ahead and wind down and get to bed. We hope you enjoyed this conversation. If there's anything else that you guys kind of want to talk about, show topics, things that you kind of want to go over, hit us up on Twitter at Culture Junkies, at Culture Junkies _ Don't forget that. Also, find us on culturejunkies.net and Facebook, or Culture Junkies Net, and at our Facebook page. Follow us on Instagram so you can get some of our cool photos that Philip 2.0 and the Big Kahuna are putting up there. Tomorrow is our favorite days of the week, Fridays, which is going to be. We're just gonna go over random shit. I love those X-wing cufflinks there, sir. Those are pretty awesome. But it's Random Shit Fridays. We're gonna talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. I don't know if we gotten Batman vs Superman out of our system, because sometimes I feel like there's some rants that need to be we really need to just let it out. Just really let people how we feel, man. Because I'm telling you, man, that Superman thing has really been bothering me, and I kind of just really want to just explode and let it out. So I don't know. I might hijack the show tomorrow, and we'll talk about it possibly. But Krusty, you foul for that. Cool Star Trek cufflinks. You so foul. You so foul. Stop that. Hey,
wait, what?
She said cool Star Trek cufflinks, bruh, in chat.
I have Star Trek cufflinks, but these are not Star Trek cufflinks.
I know.
Is it time to get a thicker
Trolling.
set?
It might be time to get a thicker set, just like just like Cousin Vinny said.
Right?
Yeah. What? What'd you say? What did you say?
Trying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get her a shirt that says "I'm a troll, not a lady."
Yeah.
She likes to always try to flip it.
Yeah. Anyway, Dadakuji, you got anything else to add before we get out of here, sir? Waffles.
Well, in my honest opinion, it's time for adults to be adults and grow the F up.
Yeah.
Because everybody should be able to do what they want as long as it's not hurting anybody else. And if a game or movie or anything has a naked man and or woman in it, get over it. Do exactly what the Noble Girl says. If you see it, you don't like it, don't give it your money.
Yeah,
because the money is there for those who want it. And keep your mouth shut.
Hold on, though. If you're a young Kenshiro back in the day, you usually got one of these in front of you.
Sure did.
Sure
did.
Yeah,
I sure did.
I didn't get one of those. I watched Crying Freeman with my dad.
With your dad. Your dad was cool, man.
11 or 12 years old. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing to her?
Yeah.
Hold on. Didn't your dad just like retire from the line of commercials and get blasted off into space or something like that?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, the most interesting man in the world. Waffles, you got anything to add before we get out of here, sir?
A titty never hurt me, so I mean, if it does, then hey, more proud of that titty. So hey.
Yes.
Titty never hurt me?
Yeah, titty never hurt me. That's what he said. That's pretty much what he said. Hand of Omega says, "Why can't we be more like Europe?" Yeah, why can't we be more like Europe and have a whole bunch of new beaches around there? I'd go. That'd be pretty fun.
Okay, now hold on, real quick. I'm gonna address that, and Megatron can back me up. How often do people come into the gym and actually be dedicated and serious without you kicking their butt to do it?
1%.
1%.
Yeah. You really want that? You really want that 1% in this country running around the way they do in Europe? Because in Europe, they don't need to be motivated. They just
no. I'm sorry. It's 99%. It's the
That
1%
Yeah,
that
they
do
do.
what they're
Okay,
supposed to do.
yeah. So if you really want
yeah.
that 99% running around, look at no. Go
Yeah.
to Europe. Go to Europe and then come back and then say then you'll understand.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Time to book
Yeah,
me a
because
flight.
in Europe, you get a lot of you see a lot of them little fat dudes in them little bikinis.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, you see a lot more models and women coming from Europe because they
That's true.
believe in fitness and exercise.
Yep, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So anyway, on that note, guys, we will see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be a fun Friday. I guarantee you. We're going to have a lot of fun. I don't know who's going to show up, who's going to want to talk. Maybe Chatwoman will get in here and kind of maybe her and I can kind of riff a little bit about Batman versus Superman because I need to get that Superman thing off my chest. I really do. In any case, yeah.
Well, that's easy. Just stop wearing those Superman T-shirts and get yourself some Batman.
Oh, you mean like Kahuna over there?
Yeah, there you go.
Batman
There you
T-shirts? No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't own a Batman T-shirt. I think I owned one a long time ago, but I haven't owned one in a number of years. So,
Well, that in and of itself is a problem. You
yeah,
need to rectify that.
maybe so. But
I
in any
have a bunch
case,
of Batmans. I have a bunch of Supermans.
yeah, he's rocking the Superman right now. Anyway, we hope you all have a great night. For the Big Kahuna, for Waffles, for Krusty, for Adobe Girl, for Megashawn, for GQ. I'm your boy Kenshiro. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Say goodbye to everybody.
I hope you have a good night if you're attractive enough.
Goodbye, everybody.
If you're
Don't
attractive
forget
enough,
to get
exactly.
Spayed and neutered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
All right,
Make sure you get your women spayed and neutered,
Your women spayed and neutered.
and some of the men's too.
you know, there's a lot of them that need that. A lot of them that
Yep.
need that.
Some of you ladies out there, contact Krusty for business inquiries.
Oh my god.